that bought. Oh, you got your staples out. Oh, man, that just sounds painful. Sounds painful. All right, so we've got the hydrangeas. Now, this one's printed on wood. It's UV printed. And I like the white to show up more than it is. So, this is what I do to them. Let me find a brush real quick. Oh, I hope it's nice where you guys are. It's so nice here. The last 2 mornings, I've gotten up early, walked the dog, taking him down to the park. Today was exercise class. It's so, it's so easy when it's warm out. I'm not good when it's cold out. The farmers market's open again. You can get good fresh food. So it was like a day of vegetables yesterday. It's hard. We live in a small town where we don't have a grocery store, so it's hard to have fresh produce and things. So yesterday was a day of corn on the cob, and even had green tomatoes. Now, I'm not saying my green tomatoes were anything but healthy, which they're not, because of course I got to bread them and fry them. But I did eat strawberries and grapes, so that counts for a little bit of it. Okay, there we go. Didn't hurt. Oh. I love hydrangeas. I bought a lilac bush last year, and it's small, but oh my gosh, you guys, it smells so good. It's got quite a few lilacs on it too. I don't want to pick on it, because it's so young. I brought some in yesterday because the smell was just amazing. So this really doesn't do anything, but you can see it makes the white pop a little bit more. And then I will seal it when I'm done. I've been playing around with my machinery back there. I figured out the glow forge last week. In fact, I got to come on and paint my fish truck that I did. I got my printer going. I've got some signs to sublimate today. The signs are selling good, especially to people who make wreaths. So I got all kinds of ideas, but now I gotta get my orders out. And I'm hoping that I get time this afternoon to play with all the new stuff. Oh, you don't have lilacs in Florida? Oh, I know. We have a tree across town, and it was just an old abandoned lot. I used to go over there and get, big bouquets every 2 or 3 days. But then they tore down the house and somebody built a house there, so I can't get them anymore. Nothing better on a spring day to have your door open, some fresh lilacs on the table. Man, it smells so pretty. So then it's almost time. I've been sorting through some product that I've had, and I've been clearancing it over on my Robin's Nest VIP group. which is where you will find these. So I'm getting rid of older stuff that I've had for a while. It's not even really that old. I never try to sell it. I order it and then I put it aside and I'm like, I need to put that up for sale, and I never do. So that's my plan, is to sell what I've got and then make new. I just want to make it. I don't like packing and shipping and invoicing, but that's the part that I don't feel like shipping it, so I'm not going to put it out there. But next is, it's almost cleanup day for our town. And I have got an upstairs full of stuff that's got to go. I've got way too many things to paint on that are too big to ship. Now, I've got ice cream buckets. I've got bread boxes. I've got all the things, and I just don't have time to paint like that much anymore. And if I do paint like that, if I paint on them, I don't have a way to sell them because they're way too, kind of like wood kegs, and I'm talking stuff that, now the heaters, I do need to finish up, but after I'm out of heaters, I'm done painting those as well. Just too much work to make a box, and they take so long to paint. Have you guys noticed how many people are not painting anymore? One of the girls in the group said, I went to Etsy to try to find, pricing, see, what other people are pricing theirs at, so I can come kind of in a ballpark figure. And she said, there's nothing on Etsy hand-painted much anymore. So, oh. No flowers yet in West Maryland. Well, you're way up there, too. You're quite a ways up. We have our tulips. Now, I only have one tulip. Just one single tulip out there. And that's because those were planted, I don't know, we've lived here for 14 years, and it was planted back then. So I got one really pretty tulip. But the neighbors, holy cow, her tulips look like she bought them plastic and put them in the ground. They're so pretty. Everybody's saying around town how pretty their tulips are this year. So I just got one. I got some lilacs, but I got one tulip. That's pretty sad to say. I noticed it when I walked the dog. I went down the alley yesterday, and it's on the other side of the garage. I can't even see over there unless I were to purposely walk over there. And I was like, oh, that one poor little tulip all by itself. Just oops. So after talking to her today, and she's like, they're selling, digital things, they're selling, patterns and things, but nobody's really doing a lot of hand painting anymore. So, and if it is, it's, I think kind of a dying art anymore. Not many people are doing things, like back 10 years ago, I'd have sat all day and painted 10 or 20 of these. I can't sit and paint 10 or 20 of these anymore. Kind of like that. That picture that I have on my page of all those snowmen, I just look at that and I think there is no way in the world I would ever do that again. It makes you kind of like, ah. And you know what? Back then, we only sold those things for 25 or 30 bucks. And they were 2 feet. They were big. 2 feet by 2 feet. And in fact, I'm even going to say that when we started selling those a long time ago. And one time, I know at the end of a show, we may have been desperate for money that I only charged 20 bucks for them. I got some irises out there, but I don't know if they're budded. Yes, if you go to a craft show now, in fact, you're seeing a lot of people at craft shows with the tumblers, with the wind spinners, with, you know, all the things that I got the machines to make with it. What I want to do with mine, though, is it's a way for me to take my art and put it on things. But, you know, everybody's going to Glowforge, very basic, and again, it'll be one of those times where, but I have to say, as we age, I don't got time to sit and paint hours a day. Man, back in the day, I worked till 10 or 12 at night. When we were raising kids we did craft shows full time. Well, up until I started selling online in 2017. So that would have been about 20 years. I mean, there was no life back then. It was just constant. Like that sea of snowmen, I look at that and I think, oh man, we did that almost every week. Because this, you know, from October, November, and December, we would sell almost every one of those. Well, we would sell 100 of the snowmen and usually sell out. The scarecrows, I didn't have enough shows in August and September. We'd sell about 50 is what we would take of those. I would take 100 trucks. In that picture in the very back, you saw some owls. So we would try to have about 5 things, just routine assembly line process. I didn't do stuff like this for craft shows. Ain't no way I could do stuff like this. I would paint on, you know, all the different things that I got, you know, like the books and the, you know, the old telephones, all that I used to do. But that was more premium price things. But, you know, that stuff took me so long to paint that I couldn't paint very much of it. And I'm a slow painter now. I'm not near as fast as what I used to be. Now I put too much detail in it. When I did craft shows, I could have never put this much detail into anything. So you just gotta do what made you money. And back then, what made me money was taking my, that's why I scanned all my paintings, had prints made of them, and glued them to wood, because those people would buy my prints all day long for $5 and they were prints. So there is a place in the world for prints, because ain't no way I could have painted that much stuff. It was a lot. Oh, well, Deb, I hope you like that scarecrow class. I still sell those on Etsy. And I haven't changed that listing since I put it up there, probably in 2014 or 2015. Maybe it was before then, because And that's in a Facebook group, but we've sold lots of them. And I can sell them for a lot more on Etsy than I ever got on for them at a craft show. I don't mind, spending so much time. Now it's harder. When you could paint 100 of them, it was just so assembly line, you bought the wood, you cut it down, my husband cut it, then he, it was just a process. So it was a lot easier than doing one at a time. I could never do one at a time anymore. All right, ladies, I'm going to go. I was out walking my dog this morning, and my grandkids saw me out walking on their way to school. So my daughter stops and they both yell out the window, "Grandma, bring us lunch." I'm like, great. So now I get to go and find them some lunch because I guess we can't eat at school all the time. So Grandma's going out to get lunch and delivering it to school. All right. So if you have any questions, Beth, just reach out to me. But, oh, the ice cream buckets. I know. Those were so nice. And then to put, Frosty's ice cream and put the snow cream recipe on there. And they were pretty. All right, everybody. I will talk to you soon.